everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all well. My name's Emily and this is Ready Steady Sew. So today I'm here to give you my July makes video. I know I've done a couple of videos where I've talked about plans and fabrics and things that I want to make, so I thought it'd be about time that I show you things that I've actually made. Before I begin, can I just say, if you hear any banging or hammering, my neighbours that are opposite me just over there, they're laying decking at the moment. I can see them laying decking, so if you hear any strange noises, it's them. I haven't got any windows open, so I'm hoping that you can't really hear them on this video, so I'll carry on, but hopefully it won't be too noisy. So I'll start with what I'm wearing. I have got on one of my Tabitha t-shirts. This is a Tilly Bulls pattern and it's from her latest book, Make It Simple. It's a really nice pattern. It's just a basic t-shirt, but you can hack it into a dress. It's a really good t-shirt pattern, so yeah, I recommend you check it out if you haven't already. So that's what I'm wearing. The fabric I think I got from Sew Your Own Wardrobe. Sew Your Own Wardrobe, that's where I got it from. Just a cotton jersey with pretty watercolour flower on it. So I have got 5 makes to show you now. I was going to film this video about a week ago almost, but then I thought, no, I've got a week of summer holiday to get started on some sewing because I hadn't really made a lot. So I've managed to get 3 things made in the last week or so. One thing I made in the last couple of days, literally crammed it in before the end of July. So I'm really excited. I've got 5 things to show you, which I'm quite pleased with actually, to say I've been at work most of the month. So I'll start with the first one. Now this is one I made at the start of July and I love it. I've already made 1, I've now made 3, and it is the Sagebrush top by Friday Pattern Company. Here it is. I'll put pictures in as well of the pattern and of me wearing everything. It is an absolutely gorgeous top. I've made it in a white double gauze with like gold dots on. If you can see, if I hold up to the camera, see, and it's really pretty, and I've got a little Kylie the Machines labelling saying yes I made this, which I love. I always forget to put labels in my clothes. I've got so many labels in a stash on my sewing table, and every time I think I'm going to put a sewing label in and I just forget. I like to sew it in like the neckline or the binding or whatever, however the neckline's finished, and I forget, but I've managed to remember on this. So this is a great pattern. As you know, I've made 3 now. This is my second one, and I think this is actually my favourite of the 3 that I've made. The fabric is so soft, and it's quite, because it's double gauze, it's quite it's got a bit of drape to it. It's not quite as stiff and structured as proper cotton. I think I got this fabric from Higgs and Higgs, but it might not be. I bought it a while ago. I know quite a few places, like First Fabrics had it recently. So yeah, it's been around. Quite a few shops have had double gauze like this in lots of different colours with the gold dots on, and it is really lovely, really pretty. I love this top, I love wearing it. It's so comfy. It's quite an easy top to make actually. The trickiest thing is gathering. It's straight sewing, there's no fastenings, no zips, no closures. It's just gathering is the hardest part. So I recommend checking it out. I know it is quite a popular pattern, but it is lovely. This is my second one, as I've said. So yeah, that's my first make of the month, and I will put pictures in somewhere of me wearing it and of the pattern if I can. Put that there. My second make is actually a pattern test, and I made this last weekend or the weekend before possibly, and I haven't got a picture of the pattern to show you because it's not been released yet. I'll put details below if I can find out what the plan is with the release date and everything. But it's a sweatshirt pattern, and it's by Nicole Akong from Great British Sewing Bee, this series, from her House of Akong brand. Hold it up. It's just a straightforward, slightly cropped but oversized boxy sweatshirt. So it's again pretty simple to make. I think the pattern is supposed to have a tiger face applique on the front. If you saw a lot of the sweatshirts that she wore in the series, she often had a tiger on the front. I think the plan is to have that put on it, but obviously I was just testing the stretch, so I didn't do that. But the fabric I used was a navy sparkly sweatshirt fleece, which I got from Like So Amazing. I bought this at the end of last year, so I don't know if they've still got it. And then I've just used a plain black rib, cotton rib. I think it's from First Fabrics. I quite often buy ribbing from them, and I like using a rib fabric for the neckline, and I've used it on the cuffs as well. It just makes it a lot easier to sew in because it's a lot more stretchier than normal fabric, and it's comfy to wear because obviously, as I say, it's got a lot more stretch to it. The bottom waistband I have just used the self fabric, so that is just usual, but if I had have had enough ribbon fabric, I would have probably done the waistband in that as well. But yeah, Face of fabrics are really good for different colour ribbons. If you see them anywhere, I recommend just buying 1/2 metre is enough to do a neckline and the cuffs on a sweatshirt or jumper or something. So yeah, that's my second piece. As I say, I'll put pictures in if I can, but I haven't got a picture of the pattern, but I will put information below of Nicole's Instagram and if I can find a date for the planned release of this. Okay, on to my next make. So my third make is one that if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that it didn't go as well as I hoped it would. So I made the Kabuki tee from Paper Theory Patterns, and I bought the pattern for this during the sewing weekend because there was a discount code for it, and I do like Paper Theory Patterns. I've now made 3. I've made the Olia shirt, the Miller trousers and the Kabuki tee. So I made, and I have got the Zeta jumpsuit pattern to make. I've not made it yet, but it's on my wish list. And I made this t-shirt in the most beautiful fabric. It was one of my favourites from the very first video I did. And so if you've seen that, you'll know that I absolutely loved this yellow and navy Mind the Maker viscose twill. So that's the t-shirt. And although, I mean, it's not horrendously wrong, I could wear it. But it's one of those things where loads of things just seem to go wrong when I was making it. And I don't think it's the pattern, I think it's me. So the first thing was, I don't know if you've seen the pattern, but I'll put a picture because it is a very interesting construction. It's the sleeves, if you can see on the video, but the sleeves attach like a right angle on the top. So they've got quite an interesting shape to them. So when you sew it, you have to sew across, then snip into your t-shirt layer to then straighten it out, and then you have to pull your sleeve piece around so it's level with where you need to sew next. And there's obviously 4 right angle corners altogether, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. The very first one I did, I think I snipped it in a bit of the wrong place. So when I'd finished attaching the sleeve, there was a big hole, quite a sizable hole at the front. Can't remember which side it was. It's this one. There's quite a sizable hole at the front, so I had to kind of patch it up. And so can you see, because I patched it up not very well, you would argue, there is now a huge tuck in it, which I can live with. And I think because of the fabric, you don't notice it, because the fabric's quite busy, you don't notice it, and I can live with that, that's fine. But then when I try it on, I don't know if I stretched the neckline out, because you bind the neckline, so you cut some binding and you bind it. I don't know if I've stretched it out as I've sewn it, but it just doesn't sit flat. Again, I'll put pictures of me wearing it. It's not horrendous, but I notice it and it annoys me greatly. So there's that. And then the other thing that went wrong was my top pieces seemed to be like 1 inch or 2 short on each side when I attached it to the t-shirt to sew, which I don't know how that happened, because it was on both of them on both sides of it. So I had to kind of just sew what I could, and then when I sewed the side seam, because you sew it on the flat and then you sew straight down the side seam and the sleeve all together, I had to cut a big chunk out because my sleeve, rather than it would have been a hole, my sleeve was too short basically. So I mean, it's fine, it doesn't really affect it, but I don't know if that somehow affected the neckline where it sits because it's made it a bit smaller. I don't know, but it's fine. I love the fabric. I think I got this from Lamazi Fabrics. I know the places sell it, but I think I bought this from Lamazi. I love it so much, and it's just beautiful. I love the colours, I love leopard print. I probably will wear it. It's really comfy to wear, it's really soft, and the t-shirt's quite baggy and oversized, so it is really nice to wear. But I just noticed the neckline. It's the neckline that bothers me the most. The tuck in the top I can handle, the sleeves is not really a problem, but the neckline just doesn't sit flat. So hopefully if I press, I might go and press it into submission after this and see if that helps to shrink it a little. But yeah, it's a shame about that, because as I say, I really love the fabric. I think the pattern's really cool, as the interesting features as all of her patterns seem to have. And I probably will make it again. I think I do want to try and make the Kabuki again at some point to see if it's me or the pattern. And obviously I now know how to do the right angled corners properly, so I shouldn't have that same problem again when I sew it. And it's silly because to do the Olia shirt you have to do the right angle corners as well, and I've made that and I did that perfectly fine. So it's my own stupid fault for cutting at the wrong point. So yeah, t-shirt. Love the fabric, like the pattern, but it just didn't end up right for me for some strange reason. Okay, my next make is also paper theory pattern, and these are brilliant. Everyone needs a pair of these in their wardrobe, I think. And it's another pair of Miller trousers. I made a jersey pair during lockdown, which are great for lounging around the house, really comfy, but they're not really trousers I would wear out in public. So I wanted to make myself a black pair that I could wear either to work or just like on a casual day, but you can still look a bit put together, but they're really comfy. Basically secret pyjamas. So I made myself, they're really hard to see because it is black, but I've made myself just a black pair of these trousers, and they're great. The fabric is from Minerva. I can't remember if it's a linen and viscose mix or if it's the linen look viscose. It could be the linen look viscose, but because it doesn't look like linen, you can't really see because it's dark, but it's got kind of that cross hatch kind of pattern that linen has. So yeah, but it's definitely linen and viscose put together in some combination, and they are really, really comfy, really, really nice. It's a really simple pattern to make, very straightforward construction. They've got a tuck, is it a tuck, would you say? A tuck on the front, but the pattern piece has got, they've kind of, it's like, is it a tuck or a dart? Let me go and get the pattern piece, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So I've got the pattern piece for the Miller trousers. This is the front piece, and as you can see, it's got like a gap in it. And I suppose it's the same kind of thing as a dart, but it might be a tuck, I don't know. But basically, when you sew it, you've obviously got your markings at the top, and then you put your little markings there. And when you sew it so they match up. So you kind of, you're sewing like an L shape basically. But they've cut, it's basically the excess is cut out of it. So it looks quite complicated and confusing, but it's not. And so there's that on the front, and then there's a dart on the back for each, and you can either do an elasticated waist or you can do a channel and a drawstring. I went for elasticated waist because it's easier and comfier, and I'm lazy like that. But no, I love it. They're really, really comfy, so super comfy. Definitely recommend everyone making a pair of these in this fabric, because as I say, it's black, so it looks smartish, it's casual, the fabric's really nice and cool actually. I tried them on yesterday when it was really, really hot, and they were really nice to wear. So yeah, really pleased with that make. So yeah, that was make number 4. Just fold them up. And then my final make of the month was, as I say, one that I squeezed in probably like Wednesday, Thursday this week. So I squeezed it in right before the end of the month. I didn't know if I was going to actually. I thought that would have been it for July, but I managed to get one more make in. And as I said earlier, it is my 3rd of this pattern, and it is the Sagebrush top, yet again, by Friday Pattern Company. And this one, I think if you watched my very first video, you'll have seen this fabric. This one I made in a blue gingham from Sew Me Sunshine. I originally wanted lilac. Harriet had ran out. Then she posted that she'd had some lilac, so I ended up buying that as well. But I bought this for a Sagebrush top, and I love it. It's different because this fabric is definitely a cotton. It's very, yeah, it's not massively stiff, but it's definitely a lot stiffer than the double gauze. It's a lot boxier to wear. You haven't got the same kind of movement and drape in it, but it's still really nice. Yeah, so again, nice construction. I found it harder to gather the frill across the front because it's cotton, it's thicker, and the gather is obviously folded, so you're gathering through 2 layers of fabric. I do find it hard to gather that properly because the piece you originally have is double the size it needs to be, so it should be a lot of gathering involved. I've yet to get, on the 3 that I've made, I've yet to get it to gather enough for it to fit. So basically, whenever I make it, I gather it as much as I possibly can to leave it on my thread snap, or it gets completely stuck and I can't move it anymore, and then I just cut off the excess. So I place it, I'll pin it on where I want to, even the gathers out as much as I can, so you know, the evenly spread, and then I just cut off the excess and whatever's left. And I did have to cut quite a lot off this one because in fact it's here, that's all that I had to cut off. So it's quite a sizable chunk, so I snapped some threads, and yeah, just didn't gather as well as the others. But it was fine to do the sleeves, and to do, because you also gather this front piece underneath to get it to get the front piece to fit to the top yoke piece, and that gathered fine because you're only gathering through one layer of fabric, but because you're gathering through two on the frill, that's a bit trickier to do. But other than that, this goes together really, really well. I'm thinking of potentially doing a sew along if I do one of these again, which I probably will because I've got some fabric over there that I really want to make another one with. I could potentially do a sew along for it. As I say, that would be my fourth one if I make another one. So I know the pattern quite well now. So if you're interested in me doing a sew along for this pattern, comment below and I will hopefully, we'll see if I can do that for you. But yeah, again, great pattern. Forgot to put a label in. Completely forgot because you're banding it line, so it's really easy to slip one in there. But no, completely forgot as usual. And I can't be bothered to go back and unpin it and do it again. But yeah, elasticated cuffs. Beautiful. I only take the hem up once. On the pattern it recommends that you do it twice, so you do it like 2 inches each time. I like my tops a little bit longer than that. I don't like anything remotely cropped. I've not got the stomach for anything cropped, so I just take it up once. I've got black overlocker thread on my machine, I can't be bothered to change it, so I just take it up and then sew it. Because this is a cotton, it sewed beautifully, it pressed beautifully, it sewed beautifully, it behaved itself. It was a dream to make actually, besides the gathering on the frill, which was fine, I managed it, but it wasn't as gathered as it should be. Besides that, it was a dream to make. Really enjoyed this one, really enjoyable process, and I made it in a few hours. So yeah, that's that one. So that is all I made in July. I am planning on making my August mates video very soon, and that should be out probably later this week or next week. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Please comment, please subscribe if you haven't already. I love chatting to you, I love getting to know you and hearing your ideas. As I say, if you're interested in a sew along for the Sagebrush top, let me know and I'll see if I can do that. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a lovely week, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.